Hi there, Jess in the Rada Kitchen. Thanks for joining me. Today we are going to put together a fabulous Valentine's Day dinner. This is simple enough you can do it at home, but fancy enough you'll feel like you're eating out at a restaurant. We're gonna start with some seared scallops over a champagne cream pasta. We have some heart-shaped broiled Asiago tomatoes, some asparagus and Cipollini onions. We're gonna finish it off with some Rosebud strawberries and a champagne cake batter dip. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna start with our broiled tomatoes. I'm just going to cut these in half, and I'm using my regular paring knife for this, just so we can get in and do some detailed work. You do not need to be a professional artist, as you can tell I am not, but we are going to cut these little cute heart shapes out of our tomatoes and remove that top stem portion at the same time, just so it looks something roughly like a heart is what we're going for here. And then I'm just gonna line those up on my baking dish. We're gonna drizzle a little bit of extra virgin olive oil over our tomatoes. And then some sea salt, black pepper, and I'm topping this with some shredded Asiago cheese. And then we'll set these aside to go under our broiler when we're ready for them. All right, so we are going to work on our Cipollini onions and asparagus side dish. I'm just going to trim these up, and then you can, of course, keep these whole. I'm gonna cut them in half, and then just go ahead and prep the rest. All right, so let's just go ahead and trim up our asparagus. Take this guy, break it at the end. You wanna see where it snaps off, and that's where we're gonna cut it to get rid of that woody end. And I have one bunch here, about a pound, that we're going to prep. Let's get some olive oil down in our pan, and I've got it over medium-high heat. All right, so I'm gonna drop my Cipollini onions down in my hot pan. To this, I'm going to add some chopped garlic. And some red chili pepper flakes. Give it a stir. So our asparagus is going down in our pan, and to this I'm adding half a cup of chicken broth. And give it a toss. So we are going to start with our prosciutto now, and this is going to go into the base of our sauce. So we are just going to thinly slice, and I have probably 4 ounces here, but I'd like to have some strips of this in our actual sauce. It's gonna add that sweet, salty bite, and we're gonna crisp it up in the pan. So I have a few tablespoons of olive oil, and to that I'm going to add half a stick of butter and just let that melt before we add our prosciutto. So we're gonna make our quick, creamy champagne sauce, and I'm gonna start by adding that prosciutto in. So our prosciutto is nice and crispy, and our butter has stopped foaming, so to this I'm going to add some chopped garlic. And give it a stir. So I have some fresh sage here that we're just going to chiffonade and drop this in that hot butter and oil with our garlic. I have 1 cup of champagne we're going to add to this, and stir until it's all done bubbling. We're going to let this reduce down by half. All right, our sauce has reduced by half. To this, you're going to add a cup of either heavy cream or half and half, and give it a good stir. So we are ready to sear our beautiful sea scallops, and I've seasoned these, but we're going to put them into a hot pan that's just about smoking. So 1.5 to 2 minutes each side, and you don't want to mess with them. That's what we're looking for, that pretty caramelization. And let's go ahead and plate these. They'll be nice and tender and super sweet. So to finish up our sauce here, I'm going to add some shredded Parmesan cheese. You could use Gorgonzola if you like. Salt and pepper it and give it a stir. So we're ready to pop our tomatoes under the broiler. It will only take a few minutes. We don't want to overcook these. We're going to finish up our asparagus and onions with a little bit of lemon zest. Let's go ahead and plate up our pasta, and I'm going to top that off with our delicious creamy champagne sauce with all those salty bits of our prosciutto and that sage. And on top, our perfectly seared scallops. And we'll finish that off with a few spears of our asparagus, a few onions, our cute little heart-shaped Asiago broiled Roma tomatoes. There we go. And we're ready to start on our dessert. We are going to start our dip off with some cream cheese frosting. To this, I'm going to add French vanilla cake batter, dried of course. And to that, we will add in our champagne and give it a mix. So let's put our dip into our pretty little serving bowl here. And we're gonna set that aside while we carve up our strawberries. But first I'm going to finish this off with some pretty gold sprinkles. And then a little mint leaf for fun. All right, so we have our mint leaf in place, and we're going to secure that with our skewer again. And then with my granny paring knife, start making our slices and pulling back our petals. And staggering those, you're gonna go all the way around. So here to top off our Valentine's Day meal, we have our cute little arrangement of our strawberry roses and of course our champagne cake batter dip to go with it. Hope you enjoy everything that we made today. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to check us out at radacutlery.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more easy and fun recipes just like this one.